Hi there, everybody. Welcome back. Let's start a new lesson. All right. All right. What lesson is this now? This is lesson 88. Perfect. Very good. All right. Look, a gente já conhece as partes do corpo, a gente já conhece quando o corpo tá doente, tá sentindo dor, não é? Então, já que a gente conhece tudo isso, tá na hora de fazer uma visita para o médico, right? Right. We pay a visit when we feel sick. Ó, when we feel sick, what do we do? We go to the doctor, não é? We go to the doctor. When we feel very sick, what do? We go to the hospital. Repeat, hospital. Again, hospital. All right, what is this? This is the hospital. And who is he? He is the doctor, or he is a doctor, right? Is he a doctor? Yes, he is. Is he a doctor or an engineer? He is a doctor. Very good. Who is he? He's a doctor. When do we go to the doctor? When? When we feel sick. What do we do when we feel sick? We go to the hospital. We go to the doctor. What do we do when we feel very sick? We go to the hospital. Must we go to the doctor when we feel sick? Yes, we must, right? Because we can't take care of ourselves, right? We need a doctor. When we feel sick, we must go to the doctor. What must we do when we feel sick? We must go to the doctor. And what must we do when we feel very sick? We must go to the hospital. When must we go to the doctor? We must go to the doctor when we feel sick. When must we go to the hospital? Fantastic. We must go to the hospital when we feel very sick, right? Very sick. Or when it's an emergency. Repeat, emergency. Again, emergency. Fantastic. What do we do when it's an emergency? We have to go to the hospital. Complete answer. What do we do when it's an emergency? Fantastic. When it's an emergency, we have to go to the hospital. Or if it's an emergency, we have to go to the hospital. What do we do if it's an emergency? Fantastic. If it's an emergency, we have to go to the hospital. When do we go to the hospital? When it's an emergency, all right? Or if it's an emergency. Do we go to the hospital if it's an emergency? Yes, we do. What do we do if it's an emergency? Fantastic. Aí uma expressão que a gente usa muito é fazer uma visita. Em português, nós dizemos, vamos fazer uma visita para o médico, né? Em inglês, nós não dizemos fazer uma visita, nós dizemos pagar uma visita. Talvez porque dinheiro esteja envolvido, não importa. Mesmo que não vá pagar, é to pay a visit to the doctor. Who do we pay a visit to? We pay a visit to the doctor. What do we do? We pay a visit to the doctor. When do we pay a visit to the doctor? Fantastic. We pay a visit to the doctor when we feel sick, right? What does Kathy do when she feels sick? Very good. She pays a visit to the doctor. And Bob, what does he do when he feels sick? Fantastic. He pays a visit to the doctor. What do we do when we feel sick? Very good. We pay a visit to the doctor. What do Danny and Paul do when they feel sick? Fantastic. They pay a visit to the doctor. What do you do when you feel sick? All right, I pay a visit to the doctor. What do I do when I feel sick? You pay a visit to the doctor. Fantastic. When do I pay a visit to the doctor? Very good. When you feel sick. When does Tina pay a visit to the doctor? When she feels sick. Why does Tina pay a visit to the doctor? Because she feels sick. Very good. Why do you pay a visit to the doctor? Because I feel sick. Why do we pay a visit to the doctor? Because we feel sick. Why must we pay a visit to the doctor? Because we feel sick, right? Why must we pay a visit to the doctor? Because we feel sick. Why must Kathy pay a visit to the doctor? Because she feels sick. Very good. Ficou claro, não ficou? All right. Então capricha aí com atenção, porque agora nós vamos fazer. Now we pay a visit to the doctor and see what happens. Right? All right. Perfect. Let's continue. So, see you soon, everybody.